Welcome to the Business Legends podcast, where we interview business leaders and entrepreneurs so that you can learn from their mistakes, pump up your own inspiration, and grow your bottom line. I'm the host of the show, Reese Arlen, along with my co-host, the best co-host of, well, today at least. His name's Christian Webb. He's the CEO of Business Marketing Solutions Group. Christian, say what's up.
Oh my God.
That's a new one.
He did it for me.
Well, that was really lame, man.
All right, what's up, people?
Thank you. We're also joined by our super duper videographer, Mr. David Woodruff from Genesis Film TV.
He's going to be our guest here in a couple weeks.
Yeah, he's going to get on it. He just doesn't know it yet. Poor David puts up with us on the daily, and we want to give him a shout out. He doesn't have a mic today because we have a guest, unlike last week. Today we are joined by a very, very special guest to us, a great friend, somebody that we've done a lot of collaborating efforts with, Miss Billie Carole with HG Promotions. Billie, how are you doing this morning?
I'm great. I definitely can't hit that high note that you just did.
What can I say? I got a little bit up in the falsetto. So Billie, thank you so much for joining us this morning. It's a beautiful day here in Charlotte, and we'll just kind of dig into it. We are lucky enough to have the opportunity to work with you on a lot of different marketing efforts. We do a lot of joint things together. And before we kind of dig into that a little bit, explain to us exactly what HG Promotions is in your own words.
HG Promotions is a promotion or event promotions company. So we do different events, all kinds of different events. And the thing that makes us stand out is we use beautiful, engaging, intelligent, charismatic people, and they go out and represent companies, or just they're a pretty face, bubbly, personality, smiling at different kinds of events. Or if we do a trade show, they're there representing that company as though they work for that company and representing their product. So that's what we are.
You put together the right talent with the right thing. And,
yes.
And one thing, I can speak just because we've done a lot of different stuff together, but one of the things I'm particularly impressed with you is that your people, they engage people at events. And so Christian and I have been to so many different trade shows and marketing events and everything like that, where you might have, even the prettiest girl, but they're sitting behind the counter, sitting on a desk, sitting on a chair or whatever, and they're just like, sup? They don't even.
They just expect you to come to them. We go out and grab people.
Yep.
Engagement, it's key.
Yeah.
I hate to be cliche.
It really does kill it.
It is the key thing to do. So
yeah.
Because so many people, that is the one thing, people can be intimidated by beauty, and especially with girls, I can't tell you how many times, I just want to put this out there, and this is going to sound maybe really, I don't know how it's going to sound.
Just put it out.
Okay, so in this industry, I've seen this time and time again at different kinds of events, different kinds of people, but it never fails. If there's a pretty girl standing there and a woman's walking by with her man, we get the ugly looks.
Oh, right.
And
Sure, I
it's
didn't even think about that.
It's like, what? We're just here working. We want to talk to both of you, probably more likely you than the man. Like, why?
Yeah, don't.
But, that's everywhere in public. That's everywhere. And I don't want to think it's because those people just, they hate ugly or pretty people, but I feel like beauty can be very intimidating.
Sure.
And we really try to break that barrier by being engaging, charismatic, bubbly. We want to make you feel, we don't consider ourselves above anybody. We're good at smiling and engaging, and oh my gosh.
We got the
10 push-ups for Billie.
10 push-ups. 10 push-ups for Billie. Oh, right. So Billie's boyfriend's name is actually Aquaman. So that was Aquaman checking in, making sure that Billie doesn't say anything silly on the podcast, So.
I just put this on my Instagram story.
Yeah.
Maybe
He's had a whole 5 minutes to look at that Insta story, and she.
He's like, what are you doing? No,
what are you doing?
What are you doing down there? No, he's not like that at all.
Yeah, event promotions are they're very interesting, and one of the things I like about your people is that they know a lot about the product that they're offering, and so I've gotten the opportunity to talk with some of your talent and whatnot, and they've been able to explain to me at least a little bit about what they're representing. I mean, I've been to so many trade shows where.
Well, let's break that down real fast, though.
Yeah.
So you go to trade shows with these tables, right? I was personally at one of the events where you had a team, and you had literally the exact same kind of business across from you with a couple pizzas and a couple donuts, and then you have an entire trailer full of people that know what they're doing.
Just for the record, I did grab a donut, so I just want to say that on the.
But every time I looked over there was like maybe one or two people that went over.
I yanked the donut, and then I never talked to them
I
again.
bet y'all had 100 people come over to your table.
Yeah.
Well, let me say this. So, first of all, if I saw a donut, I'd grab it too.
Right.
But
I'm not gonna talk to you.
Wait a minute. Let me ask you this. Do you remember what company was handing out those
No,
donuts?
I don't.
No clue.
I remember the donut though. It was original glaze.
Oh, that's my favorite. That's the only kind I eat. So.
Yeah, there you go. Perfect.
But the thing is, every business wants to make an impact because you only have that short period of time that you're in front of people. You probably paid a lot of money. You set up at an event. You guys know this. You own a business. You are the type of business that you could set up at a trade show to offer your products to other businesses. So,
Right. 1 to 15 grand, like that.
yes, I mean everything that goes into you being there. I mean, from renting the space, having the equipment at the space, paying your employees to stand there and represent you, it's huge. And you have those few hours to get as many walker buyers as you can get to remember who you are, because you can hand them a brochure, you can hand them a business card, sure, whatever. But are they going to go home and call you next week when it's time to make a decision for their company?
Yeah, and remember who you are.
Yeah, remember you. Like, they're going to have this whole bag, because we all seen the trade shows. Someone's giving you a bag. We give out bags sometimes.
Yeah.
And you're collecting business cards, you're collecting brochures. You might collect an ink pen, a beer koozie, whatever they're giving out.
T-shirts.
A donut.
Yeah, products. Yeah.
Yeah. Swag is what that's called.
Yeah.
So it's that stuff that it doesn't cost a lot of money. You print your name on it, and you hope they might use it
Promotional
a couple
product
times.
stuff, yeah.
You know how many bags I've thrown away after a
Yeah.
trade show
Yeah.
before I even got in the car?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because a lot of the swag is junk, and it does have a company's logo on it, and you're like, am I gonna really be like on the lake this summer with this or this lanyard? Am I gonna wear this lanyard? Am I gonna, ink pens are cool because if they're a good one, you can use it.
Right,
So,
you can keep it and you
Yeah.
can have it or whatever.
yeah, there's good swag and bad swag, but the whole point is, you're there. You paid a lot of money to be there, and you want these people that have come to this show. They're obviously interested in whatever this show is about,
Yeah.
whether
Right.
it's business to business marketing or.
I want you to triple my engagement.
Yes.
Let's get 3
You-
times the people to my
yeah,
table.
because you spent thousands of dollars. What's your return on that going to be? Are you going to have 5 people call you from the show, or what? I mean, 1 person. So having the girls there, sometimes we have guys too. Having a smiling face that's knowledgeable about the product in their hand, which anytime we do a trade show for anybody or we're representing a liquor brand,
Right.
we
Well, how do you think Coors became a good beer?
Yeah, right. Because it's brewed in the Rockies, baby. The mountains are blue.
Off the backs of very
Don't
beautiful
be bringing this
women.
up. Don't be bringing this up. You know I'm from Mooresville. You know that I have my preferences. Billy, please continue.
well, I'm just saying that, it is so important to make an impact.
Right.
And what better way to do that than with a bubbly, beautiful smile in your face, educating you about the product and, making the connection between you and their product. Like, this is definitely going to benefit your life because of blah, 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 whatever. And, if it gets very technical, they can just say, hey, we've got one of our guys here, because more than likely you're going to have someone from your company still there.
Right,
It's
sure.
not like you just throw us out there and we know everything there is to know about your company.
Yeah.
We're just there to engage and bring them in.
Bring people in
Yeah.
and stuff. I've seen, particularly in the realm of engagement, I've seen some of your people do fun things. Now, this was at a fitness type event, but even still, I've seen them do fun things. Like I've seen them do handstands, take pictures, and
fall
stuff.
over.
But yeah, handstands and fall over. Well, I wasn't gonna bring that up,
Sorry,
but
Stephanie.
yeah. It was pretty funny though.
Oh,
but
no, wait. Who was it? It was Nor that fell over.
Nor, it was Nor. It was Nor. But
I love Nor.
she's amazing.
I love all my girls, but
Yeah.
Yes, well, we were working in the heat.
Yeah.
And one thing I will say
Oh, is this the Beers and Burpees event?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Reese raised an entire $2.
Hey,
Oh, God.
He got 2 burpees in.
hey, all I have to say, listen, it's my
Hey,
birthday.
it was your 30th birthday.
My 30th birthday.
Yeah.
I was accidentally hungover.
You weren't his partner. I had to do like 95% of the workout.
Well, Aquaman was my partner, so...
Yeah, so he did it,
I
so-
wasn't feeling that good that day. So
Right. Well,
he did a little bit.
Hey, you know,
Yeah. It was hot. It was
listen,
really
Billy
hot.
and I.
David's my partner next year.
Billy and I are what you call managers. You know, I
Yeah.
managed you. I watched you do your work. Billy watched Aquaman do the work.
We
and
delegate.
You delegate.
Like,
We
yes.
delegate tasks and responsibilities.
Pump them burpees
And-
out.
Yeah.
Did
Yeah.
the pull-ups.
And I cheered you
Yeah.
on.
He
I
wasn't even talking.
Oh.
yeah, I was more
He
trying
did
to.
look really rough that day.
Oh yeah, I did. Yeah, I was.
He
I
was
He did pound. He
sweating.
did
I was-
pound 2 or 3 IPAs before that.
Yeah. See, so this is okay. So the Beers and Burpees event is a great event. Actually, this came
Great
up
calls.
when we were talking when Jason was our guest a couple of episodes ago. We were talking about it. They raised over $76,000 for the. I can't remember the name of the philanthropy. I'm
Think
gonna,
about dreams.
Yeah.
For people
It's
who
Dream
need.
on 3.
Dream
Oh,
on
there it
that's,
is.
thank you.
Which
yes.
is
Oh my God.
voted Charlotte's #1 charity organization for like the past several years.
Yeah, it's amazing what they do. They end up. It's kind of like Make a Wish, where they end up taking children that are in terminal conditions, things, and introducing them to their favorite either celebrities or athletes or whatever else. But it was on my 30th birthday. I was accidentally hungover, and then Reese made the wonderful mistake of saying, "Listen, we're gonna pregame this. We're gonna pregame this workout." And so I had a couple beers before the workout. Little to my knowledge, they were really heavy IPAs. And so then when we got to it, I slammed one. And I mean, and the whole idea behind the workout is that you have to drink a beer and then do a couple exercises, and drink another beer and then do a couple exercises, and so on.
Reese just came to drink.
Yeah, and so Reese was like 3 in, slammed one, and then about halfway through the first little run, it's not even a quarter of a mile, I just feel my liver being like,
It's like what, 250 yards? I
It
think?
wasn't anything.
yeah,
You
no,
run
it was
down,
like,
run back. And
yeah, it was
You
like,
should see
yeah.
Reese walking half
like-
the first half of that.
It was like
thing.
to the parking lot and back, and I get halfway through it, and I feel my liver being like, red alert, and I'm like, oh god. I was like, this is not gonna be fun. And then I was just dead for the rest of it. So Reese was on the struggle bus, but it was my 30th birthday.
Those beers were heavy. I mean, I couldn't.
Yeah, it was
The
rough.
only reason I was like sipping it is because my throat was so dry from the running. And,
Yeah.
Well, did we ever find out what the temperature was on the asphalt?
Hot. Hot.
I mean, it was. Yeah.
It was rough. So speaking of that, though, you know, kind of getting back to the people Norfallen and doing our handstand thing or whatever.
Well, I will say this about my girls: they're all very fit
Mm-hmm.
because it is an image-based company,
Right.
and you know, I expect my girls to have a balance in their life. They need to be in the gym because when people do that, they're very more confident about themselves.
Right,
So
sure.
it makes it so
perfect
much
sense.
easier to put them out there at a trade show and them to feel the confidence and be able to engage with people.
Yeah.
It all goes together, and all my girls are. Oh god, they wear me out just watching like their Instagram stories. They're in the gym every
Yeah.
single day. I'm clapping. I'm like, yeah, girl,
Yeah.
hit it, because I don't make it every day.
Yeah.
But still, I mean, it's my girls. That's one other thing that like sets us apart is all my girls are hand selected. If it's a girl that I don't know, she's come to me through another girl that already works for me.
Right.
Like they come highly recommended, and I meet them, and you know. A lot of other companies do it a little differently, and I like to know who's working for me.
Sure.
And make sure that we have a big name to live up to. And I want to make sure that they are representing that name to the fullest.
Absolutely. I remember speaking with you about that particularly. It's just a conversation we had probably months ago at this point, but you were talking about the fact that your talent is hand selected, that you know you can count on these people, you can depend on them. It really saves the headaches. in the
Oh,
long
yes.
run. And I kind of wanted to address that, and I think it's kind of a good segue into that subject. So, how many people do you have like on the roster with HG, like currently?
It's close to 40.
Close to 40.
Now, you won't see that many girls in rotation
Right.
because I have some, I guess we would call them go-getters.
Sure.
And when I post an event, they're the first ones, because I kind of do it with my girls, to be fair. You know, it's first come, first serve,
Right.
because I love all my girls, and they all have equal opportunity at working as many events as they want to. I post it, they all get a notification at the same time. They work the event.
What do you? So let's talk about the technological impact of that. Man, that was a tongue twister. But so how does it work practically speaking? Do you send out a Google request or something like that?
Yeah, I use Google Sheets.
Google Sheets, and then.
Because even, believe it or not, some of my girls don't have Facebook.
Oh wow.
A lot of people, they have Instagram but not Facebook.
Sure.
And trying to send out like a mass text to everybody. And of course you say, oh, respond separately.
Yeah.
And so, because that, back in the day, that's how I used to do it. And
Right.
of course, everybody's phones are blowing up. But yeah, Google Sheets works really well.
Yep, group
I have
messages are the devil.
Yeah, it's, and I say respond. And sometimes I do have to still do a text like that. If it's like an emergency thing or something, and
It's rough.
they'll respond to the whole group, and it's like, oh my God.
Yeah, it's rough. We're planning a trip to the mountains here in a couple weeks. And no yawning. Here you go, dude. Like, fix yourself. Get
Are
your
y'all
coffee
going
on.
skiing
Go
again?
water.
Is
Go
this
We
gonna
are.
be the-
We are.
Probably
Okay.
going Saturday, actually.
Yeah. We might go for a little day ski or something.
Yeah.
But we were trying to plan a trip, and there's like 6 guys on this thing. And I literally just went to the gym and back. And Christian's gonna laugh at this, but it don't take me too long in the gym, if you know what I'm saying. And by the time I get
Because
out,
you just smashed it out, or
smashing it out, baby. That's right. I love this. Yes. But see, Billy's on my side. She understands. So the inside joke behind smash, I just love saying the word smash for some reason. Powerful word, Hulk smash, love it. Anyway, so it doesn't take me very long in the gym, and by the time I got back out to my car, I leave my phone in my car so I can knock it
Focus.
out.
Mhm.
Yeah. I had like 45 texts or something. I was like, dude, that's unacceptable. Like, I don't need to be involved for all this stuff.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's kind of overwhelming, but so that's interesting. And in the long term, do you see yourself with just the technological advances or whatever, do you see yourself being able to do some sort of really organized sign-ups or something like that with a lot of the people you work with? Or?
Yeah, I mean, we definitely use technology, because I'll send them an application via email.
Sure.
And all the paperwork, I call it my standard paperwork.
Right.
Fill this out, send it back to me, and then we'll talk.
Right.
And I just feel like, I'm a big user of technology. I try to stay up to date on the easiest, most convenient way to do all that.
Sure.
So I see it always being that way and getting better and better.
Yeah, absolutely. Because you were just mentioning that, a couple of years back, it was just a nightmare trying to organize it all. Now it's starting to kind of organize well.
Yeah.
What other types of things have you seen, particularly with event marketing? So when you market events, you've mentioned how you want to have good people in place that are very engaging, that have what I would call kind, lighthearted, or bubbly personalities. You want them to have a certain appearance, because it is appearance based. You want them to, maintain a fit physique. You want them to look good.
Let me say this, because I just feel like a lot of people are going to hear that and be like, wow, she's shallow, or whatever you want to call it.
Can't appearance-based be anything, though?
Yes.
It's an
What
IT
I
conference.
mean by that,
Yeah.
what I mean by that is you take care of you. Like,
Right.
I want you to show up ready to work. I want your hair to be done. I want your makeup to be done.
Right.
I want you to be showing up feeling good about yourself, because the number one thing you're about to do is represent not only me and my company, but you're there representing, 9 times out of 10, another entity.
Yeah, another brand.
So,
right.
yeah, it's like, you need to feel good about yourself.
Sure.
You don't need to, and the world that we live in, it's people that take care of themselves are just, they're more confident.
Yeah.
They're easier to, make eye contact with people and stuff. So,
I don't know why the
That's-
world has veered away from that. Like there's absolutely nothing wrong with saying that.
I could really make some people mad by saying what I want to say.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'll say it. I don't know.
Well,
I'm
let's
gonna
just
keep it to myself,
let's
but-
just put the cliff note on it and say that if you take care of yourself, like I wouldn't want somebody, even if it's the prettiest, most fit girl in the world, if they show up and they look like a mess. Let's
Yeah.
say they've their hair looks like a rat's nest, and they've whatever,
Yeah.
whatever they're not taken care of, then it doesn't matter, because if you're representing my brand, I want you to put the best, most elite
Yeah.
presence forward for this brand, because you want your brand to represent quality, no matter what. Even if you're a volume customer, even if you're representing a dollar store or something where your bottom line is affected by the sheer amount of people
Yeah.
that you have, you still want that premium quality image when you're at an event like that.
Yeah.
So there's nothing wrong with saying that. I don't think it's shallow at all, personally.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. Because
Yeah.
I just feel I've had this company for over I think it's 8 years. Eight
Time
and
flies.
a half years. I know, but I feel, I mean, I don't say it. I know, my company has been judged
Sure.
by people that just take one look at it and they're like, oh, and it's like, huh? I mean, because, HG stands for hot girl.
Right.
Or hot guy.
Yeah.
People, and I did that because I am a marketing genius.
Yeah, you are. Yeah, you are.
But when I was thinking of, what do I want to call this 8 years ago, I was thinking this is when people started Google searching everything.
Sure.
And I said, when they sit down and they're looking for pretty girls for their trade show, what are they going to type into Google?
Yeah.
Hot girl.
Right.
And it's an event, and it's promotions.
Yeah.
Hot girl event promotions. I
Yeah.
mean, that's where it came from. I'm just going to put this out there because I hope people do hear this. I've made posts about it on social media and stuff, like we've been, accused of being an escort service.
Oh, wow.
Like, I'm talking about what? Like,
Yeah.
It has
how?
nothing to do with what I've seen.
Yes,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
like, where did that person draw that conclusion?
Right.
Like, what's going on in their mind for them to say something like that?
Yeah.
We've represented huge names around the community, around a few states that we work in, and it's like, really?
Yeah.
Really? I mean, that to me reflects your character when you go after a company like that.
For sure.
Because one thing I do make sure with all my girls is keep it classy.
Yeah.
Always keep it classy. From things that come out of their mouth to, we have very strict rules and guidelines that, they all sign off on.
Sure.
And that's how I run my business. It's they're all my friends because, of course, we work together, we become friends, we're all
Yeah.
around the same age.
Spend a lot of time time together.
I love my girls. I'm at the, part of my company where I want to take this and do something bigger with it because I've got such a good group of girls. And I mean, it really hurts me when people say things like that.
Sure.
Because I'm like, I brought these girls on, and I definitely don't want anyone walking around with that kind of reputation.
Yeah.
Especially when they're signing a contract that says, I will not even give my phone number out at an event. Like,
Right.
I won't, I'm very strict. I will say that. Like, I've always been that way. And, usually the people that say that are, this is a straight fact. It's middle-aged women or
Yeah.
jealous boyfriends.
Interesting.
Jealous sex boyfriends or whatever.
I was about to say, do we have any ex baby mama drama or anything like that happening on the daily?
No, it's
Yeah.
just that's who it is, and it's like, wow, thank you. We've just been working our butts off over here for you to
Right.
start such a rumor. Thank you.
In the sun, doing on your feet at these shows, doing
Yeah.
events, and you guys do a lot with motorcycles and stuff like
Yeah.
that too. It's really unfortunate. I think criticism will come in any industry, and unfortunately, particularly with event marketing, model marketing, you're going to run into a lot of those types of things.
Let's talk a little futuristic here.
Well, let me say this to wrap that up. I think all those rumors and the judgment comes from what the name of my company is.
It could.
Hot Girl.
Yeah.
Because, and it's not like that we put ourselves above everyone else and we're like, we're the hottest shit
Right.
around here. That's not how it is.
Yeah.
It was for marketing purposes. And
Yeah.
you are a huge Google expert, and you
Yeah.
know keywords are huge.
It's
I
relevant.
mean, that's what
Yeah.
makes it work.
Yeah,
So,
that's what makes you have that presence online. So
and
it
I
makes
think,
perfect sense.
I think a lot of it comes just from the name because there's a lot of agencies just like mine. Their people might not be hand selected, and I don't know what kind of reputation they have as far as girls and stuff, but I don't ever hear anybody saying, "Oh, it's an escort service."
Yeah,
You know?
yeah.
All right,
for sure.
screw the haters. Let's talk a little bit about the future.
Yes, yes.
So as a business owner, what are your thoughts on like next steps for your business?
Oh, I've definitely got some dreams cooking up.
Cool. What are they? What you got?
I'm not really big into putting my dreams out there for
Okay,
the world.
I got some dreams for you.
Because I'm
I
like
think you
huge on energies, okay?
Right,
And
sure.
I don't want any negative
Sure.
energy thrown at my dreams.
Yeah.
I've
I
got
see.
some stuff I'm wanting to make happen. My biggest thing is finding the time.
Yeah.
So I got 2 boys, teenager, just sort of got his permit, and my 10-year-old.
Oh Lord. Stay off the
But-
streets in Hickory, basically.
Yeah.
Is what you got to say.
It
Like,
sounds like you could turn
Yeah.
what you do right now into like a small talent agency. as
That's what
well.
yeah.
I think that'd be kind of cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Because
what I would like to do.
when we do commercials, like some of the biggest commercials, people don't even realize it, like software commercials and
Yeah.
stuff.
Mhm.
They use pretty people
Yeah.
Yeah.
to talk about software, and they're like, I don't even know what this software does.
it's just a fact of life, man. I mean, when people, and David, if he had a mic, he would be able to contribute to this. But it's like when you're hiring an actor for a commercial, for example. When's the last time you saw an ugly person on that, or a person that was unkept? I
Yeah.
mean, even one of the it's not a falsehood, but one of the, I would call it a head fake of cinematography in general, is that like even the men wear makeup in commercials. All of them, every single one of them. They look in such a way to best represent that brand in a premier level. So it's interesting. There's a lot of stuff that can be done with event marketing. There's a lot of stuff that can be done with talent management, is what I would call it. Another thing that I want to talk to you about, Billy, is I'm very big on corporate culture. And so you were talking about how with everybody that you hire on, you have a standard set of rules for them. You said you're very strict about that stuff. How do you go about managing that? How do you go about managing the people and making sure they adhere to that level of,
Yeah, well, it's not like a huge list. I think my list is like 25 rules and regulations now.
Sure.
And it's, I put from the simplest thing on there to, again, something that most people wouldn't even think about when they're working a different kind of job out in the public.
Right.
Like, hey, don't give your phone number out. We're not waiting tables. I don't ever want the appearance of we are more than here representing a brand.
Right.
Never. I don't want them to know where you work outside of this. I don't want them to know your last name, nothing. I mean, social media kind of blows that out of the water with
For sure.
tagging people and stuff. But,
Yeah.
the way that I manage that is they all sign it.
Mm-hmm.
They know what the rules and regulations are. If it ever comes back to me that they were doing something not right,
Yeah. You mentioned the phone numbers. Can you give me some other examples? Like one of them, I imagine, is probably appearance-based, and then I would imagine something else would be a conduct of character.
Yeah.
So, for example, I wouldn't want, if I'm just putting myself in your shoes, I wouldn't want somebody representing my brand at an event to just be foul-mouthed, cursing like a
Oh, yeah.
sailor and saying F this, F that.
Oh,
whatever,
yeah,
you know?
again, all my girls are hand selected, so
Right.
I already know there's a certain classiness to them.
Sure.
I mean, even myself, I'm a little rough around the edges.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Leather
But-
jacket always and forever. That's you. That's you.
That's right. So,
Yeah.
but no, and sometimes I'll work events with my girls, and
Right.
I like to lead by example, and so, I don't want to be fake,
Mm-hmm.
but I don't want them being too down to earth that, they're out there. None of my girls are like that, really.
Right.
That's not something I really worry about. Something that, I train my girls on is, there's events that we do where there could be a lot of men there.
Mm-hmm.
We do a lot of different sports things where it's predominantly men.
Yeah. I remember
there.
talking to Nora about a couple golf tournaments.
Yeah, we do golf tournaments
Yep.
and stuff like that. And I'm not saying there's no women.
Yep.
There's usually a couple women, but it's predominantly men out there, having a fun day on the golf course with their buddies. And, just some guys, they like to just put their arm around you while you're
Yeah.
talking and stuff,
Sure.
whether they know you or not. And I just, one of the things I tell my girls is politely step out of that.
Yeah.
You don't got to be rude about it or anything, but don't be getting yourself in a situation where they're going to think that, oh, I can put my arm around her, I can
Sure.
put my hand down her on the lower back, or,
Yeah.
I don't want that image out there, and I don't want my girls getting in any kind of situation. They should never feel uncomfortable.
Right.
And the client that I make the contract with, that, my clients also have to sign a contract when they hire us for big events like that. It's, if at any point my girls feel uncomfortable, they're leaving, and oh yeah, you're still paying.
Right.
So
For sure.
because we don't want anything to get out of hand. This is fun. We're there to add a certain level of, which I don't know. What
Yeah,
you wanna call it.
class and elegance,
And just
to piggyback on that, I think it's very important that you not only do you hand select your talent, but you also hand select the events that you choose to market as well. I mean, it may not be as big of an issue to for kind of that male to female threshold might not be as big of an issue at, say, a fitness event. But if you were marketing at something like a gentleman's club or something, it'd be a huge issue. And it's just the way that it is. It's the world that we live in. So kind of to wrap this up a little bit, I want to speak to future entrepreneurs, people that have talent agencies in mind and talent management, event marketing particularly. You've been at this for 8 years. You've been able to work with probably hundreds and hundreds of different girls, different talent. I'm sure hundreds of events at this point. I mean, I personally know about 20 in the last year. What would you recommend for somebody that's looking to get into the field of talent?
to be like one of the girls, or to have this kind of company?
I would say both ways.
Okay.
So what would you recommend for somebody that's looking to get into that? I would call it talent management in general.
Okay, well, first and foremost, any dream that you have, you need to work at it every day. If
Yep.
it's something that you cannot get off your mind, I think about my company every single day. I think about, there's times where I've gotten in ruts and I'm like, man, nothing's really coming in.
Right.
Again, I don't really advertise.
Right.
And I'm like, let's step up your game, but always staying positive. I live my life that way. We all have our days where we gotta be like, no girl, don't even go there.
Right.
Turn it around.
That's what I say to myself. No,
Yeah.
girl, don't.
Yes.
That's it.
I know, that's why I said that.
Right,
I
right,
know
right.
that's
Oh,
what
good,
you said,
perfect,
yeah.
perfect.
So, no, I just think that anything that you want to do, you have to do your research on it. Look at, what kind of investment is this going to be? How much money am I going to have to put up front? Because I believe any business is an investment. You're investing your time, your talent, your energy, a lot of times your resources. So, I've always heard, it takes money to make money.
Yep.
And whether it takes a buttload of money versus just a little bit of money, like, hey, go print some business cards and tell people, hey, I got some hot friends that can come to this golf tournament for you.
Right,
I don't
sure.
know. However you started out, but just if it's something that you can't stop thinking about, do it.
Yeah.
And for the girls, I'm always adding to my list. I'm happy to sit down and meet anybody that's interested in working hard, showing up on time, being ready when they get there, and great attitudes, great personalities, beautiful smiles,
Yeah.
confidence. So I just think, always represent yourself. We're not top of our game every single day. We all have our down days, but appreciate those days, because we all need a rest. And I'm huge on balance. You gotta go to the gym, you gotta eat right, you gotta work hard, but all that has to be balanced, because you'll get burned out if you don't. And I don't know, I feel like I'm rambling.
No,
but
I like your message. Your
Yeah.
message is that you want, chase your dream. Is the first thing. If it keeps you up at night,
Yeah.
then go for it.
I'll be applying soon.
Yeah, understand.
Okay, yeah.
Understand your. Listen, chunky monkey. Well, you and I need to
I'm
need
3
to drop
pounds lighter than
need
you.
to need a drop of a couple. Well,
I think I'd be
I'm
good at
3
the
inches
Banana
taller
Republic
than you. You are 3 inches shorter than me, and I have
Just
3
think about
pounds.
me at a
of you.
Banana Republic event. It'd work.
A Banana Republic event.
Yeah, it'd work.
That is, I just barfed in my mouth. That is
Like an Old Navy, maybe?
Old. Well, based on that sweater, what is this sweater about today?
It's a
by the way?
hot-ass sweater.
Like it's, I don't know how I feel about this situation. I made him really self-conscious on our last episode. Actually, I didn't make David self-conscious, so I always give them trouble about their flannel shirts.
Oh.
And Christian hasn't worn a flannel shirt around me since. But David, on the other hand, he has it going on. So
They've just been
Hey.
dirty. Just
Yeah,
to be clear.
David-
David doesn't give any.
Yeah, no, David is he's just relaxed, man. He's always in it. So Billy, I always like to end off our podcast with like a funny little question that might make you think in the future, and I don't have one. So Christian, can you think of anything?
Man, I thought you had one. So I didn't even
Come
think.
on, ask me something.
I was thinking about good ones.
Fun question.
What?
This is gonna suck.
If you could have got by with anything,
Terrible question.
What kind of family Christmas photo would you have taken?
Anything.
If appearance didn't matter, what would it have
For a
been?
Christmas family photo.
You send it to everybody. You have to send it to every Charlotte address.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Christmas card.
I don't. A funny one or
Yeah,
just
I saw
like
some good ones.
on the edge. Well, me and Aquaman have been talking about. Okay.
Yes.
You know that movie Masterminds?
Yeah.
Where. What's that? Zach Galifianakis?
Yeah, Galifianakis or something.
I
Yeah.
got it out better than I thought I would.
Right. Galifianakis? Zach Galifianakis? Well, anyways, yeah.
Whatever. You know what I'm talking about.
Right.
So, of course, the previews for that whole movie coming out was, I don't really want to say this, but, where they're doing a little photo shoot and it's playing the weird music and they're like in stonewashed jeans and it's totally weird. But,
Right.
She's sitting on his butt and he's laying on his belly. And he goes, what's her name, Janice or Janet? He's like, dang it, Janet, or Janice, you farted right in my butthole.
We did not disappoint. That was a good one. That's fantastic.
But the whole thing is, well, me and Aquaman, Justin, we talked about doing that photo shoot.
Right.
And I could see me and him and my two boys doing that because my two boys, they're hilarious. Especially my youngest one. He does all kinds of imitations and stuff. And he, when that movie was being previewed on all the TV commercials and stuff, he went around saying that non-stop.
Oh my God, that's funny.
Like, dang it, Janice.
Dang it, Janice, you farted in my butthole.
Yeah, it's like he said, what did he say? It's like a fart transplant or something. And I mean, I would have, he would be going to the grocery store, saying that, and I'm like, shh, don't say
stop saying that. Don't say that in public.
Most
Crazy.
people don't know what that is.
That was a perfect question.
You got it. Man, it took
but
me.
we would redo that and probably make it even crazier.
Yeah, I would want Aquaman to have I call him Aquaman because he looks like Aquaman.
I think he looks better than Aquaman.
He does look better than Aquaman.
I just call him Aquaman because that's how you reference him.
Yeah,
but.
well, literally the first thing.
We need to have an Aquaman showdown.
Yeah, the funniest thing about that is that sometimes Reese is not rude, but sometimes Reese can say things where Reese doesn't think before he speaks, which is pretty much every other comment. But he's like, hey man, I'm Justin. I was like, Justin, it's really nice to meet you. Billy's told me about you. Oh my God, you look like Aquaman. that was exactly our first conversation. Yeah. That's who he is to me as a person. So Billy, let's say somebody's interested in event promotions. How do they get in contact with you for a new event?
Well, I used to have a website. I'm wanting to get a new one up and going.
Yeah, you're getting a new one going soon.
Yeah, it's just everybody went the social media route, and it's so easy to go on Facebook and see photos and stuff and reviews and all that. It's just all in one place. So we're on Facebook and we're on Instagram. Instagram is at Hot Girl Events.
Okay.
And Facebook, I believe you can look it up the same way, or just type in Hot Girl Event Promotions LLC.
Perfect.
And you'll see our logo come up. It's one of my girls and my graphic artist guy did like a silhouette of her with some angel wings.
Oh, cool.
And so that's been my logo for almost 8 years.
Yeah.
And so
it's keeping it going.
Yeah.
So, well, Billy, thank you very much for joining us this morning.
This was fun.
It's been great. Yeah.
This was fun.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Thanks for having me.